I realized that after so many years of having social media, I've never really introduced myself. So, hi. I'm Chris. I wanted to film this because I realized that I am not the most open person. I want to be a bit more transparent and a bit more vulnerable. A lot of my personality doesn't show, even though I consider myself to be funny and sassy and witty and outspoken and unapologetically myself. That doesn't read through a photo. That doesn't read through a camera sometimes. And I just want to do better with that. I think the reason why I am guarded and a bit curated and filtered is a lot to do with my upbringing. I mean, when I think of my childhood, I was a very sheltered kid in New York City. My parents wanted me to do things a certain way, look a certain way, dress a certain way, speak a certain way. As a creative kid growing up, I wanted to just be myself. I was this sassy, loud, just rambunctious kid that just like loved clothes and loved Barbies and you know, had a stank to his walk. And as I got older, I started to realize that my flamboyant self was not accepted. You see, young Chris had teachers that were cultivating my creativity. And in those years, I blossomed. But when those teachers left and I got older, the bullying started. That really took a toll on me. I really got made fun of for the way that I spoke, for the way that I dressed, for my size because I was a heavier kid. I used to get made fun of for my voice. And also for my mannerisms. I was called a faggot and gay pretty consistently. People didn't want to become my friends because of that. And people that were already my friends, when they would realize that I was being called those things, they would kind of separate. Having people like that wouldn't stick it out with me through the thick and thin of things really made me a bit cold, made me a bit guarded. The Chris in my teenage years and my high school years started to just dive into fashion because friendships really weren't something that I was good at holding. I really wasn't good at being social. Fast forward to now, I'm still a guarded individual. When you see me, I am very much so to myself. I mean, I'll sit at a bar at the end and I'll order my food and have a drink and not say a word to anybody. You'll see me walking down the street with my AirPods and a cap and my sunglasses on because those three things are my armor. I just feel like I'm in my own little world. And that is how I protect myself from everyone else around me. My early 20s was when I really started expressing myself. That is when I was given the chance to dive into my creative side that I had been holding back for so long. I was given that chance by the person that I dated for most of my 20s. That person really created a safe space for me to exist without any judgment. And I am very grateful for that person. So I use clothing as a form of self-expression. It is how I introduce myself without having to say a word. I mean, I'm in my closet filming this. This is my playground. I get to play any character I want. I get to find inspiration anytime I want. I get to just exist and be myself unapologetically. I get to build my confidence and step out of my apartment into a world that to this day might say, we don't want you. It's gotten better. But the world is the world. And I walk out and I feel like the baddest bitch that I am. That is what clothing does for me. That is what my looks do for me. Clothing for me has always been around. I mean, when I think about my mom and my dad, my mom is a seamstress. She's always loved clothes. She used to make her clothes in the 70s and the 80s. My mom taught me about fabrics. She taught me about texture. She taught me about quality. She would tailor all my clothes. And then there's my dad, who taught me style. And he is the reason why I have an obsession with outerwear. My dad, to this day, has a closet in our house full of coats that he's collected over the years that he still wears. But when I put my two parents together, I realized that they were the foundation to my love for clothes. And so then that leads me to, what is the goal of all of this? Why am I being this open and this vulnerable with a camera and posting it online. I'm being this vocal and vulnerable about it because I realized that if my younger self had someone that was cultivating and allowing my creativity to blossom at such a young age, had I had that person or people exist throughout my entire life, I might be a different person. But I'm also doing it because I realized that those people that did come into my life at those moments, even though it wasn't for all of my life, but for certain periods, they had an impact. They were the ones that allowed me to grow and allowed me to question and allowed me to just exist in a world that was telling me no. They were the ones that were saying yes. And it'd be super dope if I could be that for some kid. If I could be that for someone who is like struggling with their identity or their body image or themselves, and realize that I have struggles and I'm not perfect, and I may look it on a photo, but the reality is that I'm just a humble, shy kid who just happens to love clothes and let the clothes speak for him, because that is what I'm the most comfortable with. I always sit back and wonder if little Chris would be proud of the Chris now. I think so. The only thing I do wish is that I had the confidence of little Chris. Because little Chris, baby, you could not tell him nothing. Oh my God, I look at photos and I just crack up and I'm like, baby, not a single care in the world about who you are, right? I think little Chris would be proud. I do. I don't know how long this video will be, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did watch all of this, thank you so much for watching. You are truly amazing. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.